bowl of noodles may seem like a simple enough meal, but in Japanese cuisine, that simplicity is the basis of an art form. This is the soul food of Japan. This is ramen. Over the past couple of decades, ramen has experienced an unprecedented boom here in Japan, and it's now this artistic expression of a love of food. There are 4 main varieties: shio, shoyu, miso, and tonkotsu, but within those 4 varieties, there are infinite possibilities. This is Kokugo Nigo-sen, but the locals here in Kobe know it by a different name. They call it Ramen Kaido, or Ramen Street. It's a very long street, it's about 10 kilometers long, but over that 10 kilometers there's about 40 different ramen restaurants. Over the years it's kind of grown and expanded, and you can go off into all the side streets here and find ramen of every size, shape and description. The first stop on my Kobe tour de ramen is Sukemen Shigeta, a relatively new shop run by the ramen mad Shigeta brothers,
Konnichiwa,
who specialize in a very particular variety known as sukemen. They make their own noodles from wheat grown right here in Hyogoken, and the soup itself is a mixture of chicken and pork bones, also with some vegetables that are simmered in like a seafood broth. Sukemen's very different to normal ramen, so it doesn't all come in one bowl. It comes with noodles separate, the soup separate again, and you kind of put them all together into your mouthfuls one by one. Arigatou gozaimasu. Oh. Shigeta-san recommends to have just a couple of the noodles by themselves to get their flavour before you start diving into the soup. They do have a really nice flavour and especially texture. They're made with that wheat from this prefecture, and it's got little flecks of the whole grains in there still. Now this is how you eat sukemen. Pick the noodles up, dunk them into the hot soup, and then out of the hot soup into your mouth. The thing with sukemen is the noodles are always really thick, and to kind of grab onto all of that soup to pull it into your mouth. The interesting thing about ramen is it's often described as the universe in a bowl. What other dish do you know where you've got seafood and chicken and pork and wheat? It's kind of the land, the sea and the air all brought together in one dish, and that's what makes it so fascinating. And then, of course, once you've finished all your noodles, usually that would be getting towards the end of your ramen. But for sukemen, there's always one more step to go. Bowl of the diluted soup is the perfect way to finish a meal of sukemen. When you come to somewhere like Ramen Kaido, you can't stop at just one bowl. So just around the corner is my second course. This is Menya Shuhari, and I'm trying their specialty, shio ramen. Whenever I get a new bowl of ramen put in front of me, I always kind of want to take it in with my eyes first, just to see what's different. You can see this one has got some chicken, some pork chashu there as well. The things that stand out for me are these little sakurebi, the little prawns or dried shrimp that are on top there. Some very, very long, flat noodles with just a little wrinkle in them. They're not wavy, they're not completely straight. And then, of course, we can start with a taste test. Forget not slurping your soup like your mother taught you, because when you eat ramen, that's kind of the way you're supposed to do it. This is a shio ramen, which is usually quite a light style of ramen, lighter than your miso or tonkotsu or even your shoyu ramen usually. But what sets this apart is it's actually quite thick, with quite a strong flavour from the seasoned oil. So it's chicken and pork based, but it's also got a strong seafood element to it as well. That's the thing I love about ramen. There's thousands of different ramen places all around Japan, and every single bowl is different to every other.
Now, I probably should stop, but I just can't help myself. Around the corner is one of Ramen Kaido's most popular shops, Ipposhi, famous for their tori paitan.
こんばんは。じゃあ、何がおすすめですか？おすすめはラーメンです。This style of ramen, tori paitan, is become so much more popular, and it's something I've noticed as well. Recently, there's been more and more tori paitan, white chicken soup noodle places opening up all around. As you can see, the changes in sort of art and culture of ramen. It used to be tonkotsu was the main game, but these days tori paitan, shio, shoyu are all sort of fighting for supremacy. It's a stunning bowl of ramen, it really is. Quite striking in its colour. The soup itself is really thick, and it's kind of that rib-sticking, collagen-rich chicken bone broth. Oh, it's just wonderful. The noodles are really, really chewy, mochi-mochi, I would say, in Japanese. And the texture and consistency of that soup, it's thick and it's silky and gelatinous, and it's could be my favourite bowl of ramen today. Ramen's not a stationary thing. It's been around in Japan for centuries, but it really boomed after the Second World War when servicemen returning back to Japan would open up little ramen stalls on the side of the road and help rebuild the Japanese economy. It's a kind of culinary and cultural past, present and future of Japan, and it really is the universe in a bowl.